So I've been watching Hacks on HBO Max recently, and it got me thinking about a few things, and I thought I would share my thoughts with you guys. I have not finished the show yet. I think I have a couple more episodes to go, and I usually tend to do that when I really like a show and I am enjoying it a lot. So I tend to keep some episodes or the last 30 minutes or 20 minutes in the back burner, only if I can, so I can revisit it later and extend the ending, and so that I don't have this really hollow feeling that I usually end up having after something is over, something that I really like. And even if it is, sometimes it happens that for a movie or a show I cannot do that. I need to know what happens, and in that case I do this deep dive into this big hole of actors, directors, creators, and what they did before, what they did, what are they doing next, and literally anything and everything that I can find out about any of those things. I tend to do a typical man's way of figuring out shit that you love, and I'm no different than any other nerdy person who loves movies and TV shows. But that is not what I wanted to talk about. But I really love the show, so if you are contemplating or if you have not watched it, I think you should definitely go watch it. It is a definite recommend from me. I absolutely love it. I don't even have a single bad thing to say about the show. I'm pretty sure you could nitpick a few things here and there, but overall I really love the show and definitely recommend. But I was trying to remember the feeling I was having while watching the show, because I watched it on and off because 4 seasons and a lot of things going on personally in my life. So throughout every up and down that I've been going through in the last few months, I've actually ended up, doesn't matter where I leave and when I get back to it, the show has stood the test of time for me personally. And I was trying to think about the last time a show had that kind of effect on me, and right at the time those thoughts were brewing in my mind, I came across this video. And again, I don't like to single out people, and I'm not going to, but there's this YouTuber who I'm not gonna name, but usually uses Nicolas Cage and Tim Robinson's memes in his videos, and he critiques a lot of movies and shows. I came across a video of him, and again, I don't like to single out. He's actually a great YouTuber, does a lot of great content. I actually usually watch him review movies, and I actually agree with a lot of the things that he has to say. But then every once in a while I come across this video where it's like, oh, everything is doom and gloom, and Hollywood is going to shit, and superhero movies are going to shit, and all great movie IPs are going to shit. And the answer is women. It's because women writers, women creators, women actors, women leading all these things, and they can't do it. Why are we doing it? Blah. And I find myself going a little, and again, I cannot escape those videos because again, I'm a man, and as much as I try to stay away from social media because it's a cool thing to do to not be on TikTok, why would you be on TikTok? But anyways, even on Instagram and YouTube, I always end up having, because they know I'm a man, having these suggestions where they're always like, oh, everything is going to shit because women. And so it got me thinking. I was like, obviously this show was not recommended to me by anyone. It was not, I never saw it in the best shows recommended, because I see usually, again, a lot of YouTubers I follow, some of them really good, and I do not see it recommended a lot. But I found it on HBO and I decided to watch it, and it was literally one of the best experiences. And then I thought about a few other shows that I've recently watched in a year or so, and I had a similar experience. And guess what, there's a link in between all of them, and they're all created, led, or written by women. And I'm like, then why are all these people, why is there a narrative around women being the reason why superhero movies are not working, movies that are led by them are not working, shows that are led by them are not working? And there are some, like I said, not to single out a particular YouTuber or anyone, but that's the one I recently watched, so that's fresh in my memory. But there's talks about Rings of Power and Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter now, and then a lot of other shows with Indiana Jones, the latest movie, and a couple other shows on Amazon that are going to be led by women. And they're like, oh, this is because women are doing this and they're ruining everything. And like I said, there are a couple good points, but then it's not gendered. It's not just because of women. It's just bad writers or bad creators or bad writing. They're not even bad people. It's just things don't work, and it doesn't have to be gendered. And it drives me nuts, because I was having this conversation with my girlfriend, by the way, and she saw me watching like couple episodes of Hacks, and she asked me why I'm watching it and what made me watch it. And that is what got me thinking about, like, what, why didn't I get recommended? Why am I not watching? Why isn't it on all of these people's list, this show and a couple other shows? And why aren't people talking about it a lot? And me thinking, like, I'll list out the last few really good shows that I watched. Again, there are a lot of other shows as well, but for the point of this argument or this conversation, The Diplomat absolutely amazing. I know a lot of people are talking about it, people who know about the show, but they're not really talking about how the show is led by Russell, and it is so fucking good. And I know there's a parallel male lead too, but it's created by guess who? It got me thinking. It's like I'm not the only one. There's nobody wants this, and of course, season 1 is better than season 2, personally for me. But again, an absolutely amazing show. Again, you can have a lot of different ways of evaluating a show, critiquing a show, because different shows have different purposes. There are different kinds of shows. Not every show has to be the best Emmy-winning show of all time. Not every show has to be True Detective. Not every show has to be like Soap and Bad and Love Is Blind kind of stuff. You can have a wide spectrum, and you can have any and all kinds of shows. And that is why I realized, just off the top of my head, Hacks, kind of like a sitcom setting. It's kind of dark comedy kind of show. Absolutely amazing. Diplomat, political thriller, absolutely fucking amazing. And I love how they're written, how the characters are written. There's just so many different angles to that show, and you realize that it's just great writing and creators, great actors. They made an absolutely gun show, and you should go watch it. Again, I don't want to spoil anything, but aside from the fact that it's based on politics, and for people like me who are not in politics, who don't really know how governments work, how DC works, how any of it works, it is so amazing. And I know it's probably not accurate, probably other shows that do it accurately. I don't care. Just judge the show based on what the show is telling me. You could be real, it could be based on true events, it could not be based on it could be completely fictional, it could add stuff, remove stuff, you could do whatever you want, but as long as you make a good show, it's a good show. And I think it's a good show. Another one, apart from the Diplomat I was thinking about, was Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, and that is a musical, and I do not like musicals. You can ask anyone around me. I am always bit about musicals. Nothing to do with the musical itself. I don't know why. I actually watch a lot of Indian and Bollywood movies, so I don't know why that's the case, but it somehow takes me out. But then if someone makes me watch it and I come across it, I will. I watched West Side Story, and I watched In the Heights, was that called, in theaters, and I really loved it. And then I love the musical show Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, again led by women, created by women. It's amazing. So why is this narrative like women creators and women writers and women leading shows or something is just gonna eventually just fucking take down Hollywood and take down every single show that we love? It's bonkers. It's stupid. It just riles me up. And again, nobody wants this. Like me, if I'm watching a show and I don't want it to end, that's it. That's a great show. That's a good show. Again, like I said, there's different ways of evaluating a show, but for me, I watched season 1 of Nobody Wants This, and I really wanted more of it. Same thing with Hacks, same thing with every other show. So there's so many. I'm pretty sure there's another list of great shows that are created, led, and written by women. One thing that I really mentioned to my girlfriend the other day was, why are these shows gatekept from men? And why do men do that to themselves? Like, why do you have to categorize a show or a movie or anything that's created or art for men or women? Why do you gender everything? Writers, creators, content, don't gender it. It doesn't matter. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be shit, it could be whatever, good, bad, ugly. But just let them watch everything. Don't be like, Barbie's not for me, not really tailored for me. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt's not tailored for me. Hacks, I love that shit. And there's so much shit I love. I understand my girlfriend better, by the way, watching these shows. I told her that. I told her, you know what, honestly, watching these makes me understand you better. And it makes me understand comedy, writing, and all of these things better. And of course, there's a place for different kind of movies as well, different kind of shows as well. But just let them all exist. Don't categorize them, okay? Let them all be good. And stop with the stupid narrative about, if this person or this gender is going to do this or that, then this is going to happen. It's just, for me personally, that's just bullcrap.